Hello, everyone, and thank you for joining this webinar today. I'm Andrew Campbell-Edie. I'm the Communications Manager at the Irish Centre for Diversity. To self-describe, I'm a Black man. My pronouns are he, him. I have close cropped hair on my head, otherwise known as bald. I have a black moustache, which is starting to speckle with grey. I'm wearing spectacles, and I'm in front of a white virtual background with the Irish Centre for Diversity logo and our coloured triangle branding. I'm wearing a bright red woolen shirt. So we recently held the National Diversity and Inclusion Awards 2025 to recognise and celebrate the valuable work being done to progress diversity and inclusion in Ireland. This webinar series has been devised to share the insights and experiences from the sponsor, the winner, and the other finalists, so that any learnings can be applied to your organisation and to help with entering the next award cycle. Today's session focuses on advancing social inclusion. This category recognises an organisation's efforts to reduce inequalities and barriers that prevent people from underrepresented socio-economic areas from fully engaging and progressing in the workplace. This is now needed more than ever. About our sponsor, Nestlé is the world's largest food and beverage company, and it's driven by a simple aim: unlocking the power of food to enhance quality of life for everyone today and for generations to come. This is their second time sponsoring the Advancing Social category at the National Diversity and Inclusion Awards, and they were finalists in the Company of the Year category and winner of the Outstanding Diversity Initiative category in last year's awards. Some housekeeping. I'll shortly hand over to the team at Nestlé, and then we'll hear from some of the finalists, and then with the award winner, and wrapping in about an hour. We're joined by Catherine White, our ISL interpreter for the day. The session's being recorded and will be available shortly on the Irish Centre for Diversity website. Everyone is muted except the panel. Please share comments in the chat function. We'd love to hear where you're joining us from, which organisation. There isn't time for Q&As. So if you have any follow-on questions, I'm sure the panel would be only too happy to connect with you on LinkedIn or other social networks. I think LinkedIn's the easiest one to find everybody on. And then you can interact with them directly. It's me great pleasure to welcome to introduce you to our sponsors, the team at Nestlé. We have Christina and Bethan. Over to you.
Thanks very much, Andrew, for that fantastic introduction. And hello to everybody on the panel, to all who are joining us live, and to everybody who's watching back the recording. So just to introduce myself and to self-describe, my name is Christina O'Sullivan. I am a white female, long dark hair, and as I work for Nestlé Nutrition, as you'd imagine, I've got some food pictures in the background. So we're very proud, as Andrew mentioned, this is our second time to sponsor the Advancing Social Inclusion Award. Very proud to do that. So very excited for the discussion today. We weren't part of the judging panel, just merely sponsors to this award. So thanks for giving us the opportunity to do that. D&I at Nestlé, we've been on a journey, as Andrew mentioned. We were finalists in Company of the Year last year, which is great, and we won the Outstanding Initiative Award, which we're delighted about. That takes massive, I suppose, effort, and we're constantly evolving. We were delighted to be accredited with the Gold Accreditation in 2021 and strive to continuously evolve across our networks within UK and Ireland in this work, in the diversity, equality and inclusion work. So I'll pass you across to my colleague, Bethan, to introduce herself as well.
Thank you, Christina, for that lovely introduction. My name is Bethan Carr, and I am part of the Nestlé Health Science department. I work very closely with UK, so this is lovely to be able to do something Irish focused. I'm delighted. So to self-describe, I am a white female with blonde-ish hair I'm still holding on to the fact that it's blonde hair, even though it's turning, slightly lighter brown. And my pronouns are she, her. Delighted to be here today. It's my first time having an ISL interpreter, Catherine. So yeah, hope I'm doing okay with my speed. So very excited to have this. Yeah, delighted to hear from the panel today. I was at the awards night, so I did hear some of the descriptions there on the day, but delighted to be here to hear more from the panel about their fantastic initiatives. It's such an important topic, especially at the minute. We know there's a lot in the news going on around D&I, so delighted to be here to champion it, to encourage it, and to give it the time it deserves. So yeah, looking forward to hearing.
Gorgeous. Thanks so much, Bethan. So we're going to ping pong between myself and Bethan to have a chat to each of the panelists, the finalists, I should say, and our winner for this particular award. So first of all, we're going to recognise Boss Erin. So our first finalist is Boss Erin, who unfortunately are unable to join us today. However, I'd like to read out the judges' comment to acknowledge their achievement in being shortlisted in this category. So the judges really admired the Route to Respect programme, which strives to reduce inequality in the recruitment process. They've proactively widened their talent pool and made opportunities more accessible to individuals from diverse backgrounds. So congratulations to Boss Erin on that. And I love this name, Route to Respect programme. So it really speaks to, obviously, a bus journey, which is fantastic, a great name. Next, we'll pass on to, and I'd like to welcome our second finalist, Sky Ireland, represented today by David Ward. You're very welcome, David. Sky were congratulated for their flagship social impact initiative, Sky Up. Again, a fantastic name, which was designed to help people unlock their potential through digital empowerment. By addressing key aspects of digital inclusion, Sky Up makes a difference in three critical ways. You provide access to the internet, inspire marginalised young people in schools to aim higher, and offer diverse pathways into career and media and tech. Obviously, initiatives to be very, very proud of. So David, the initiatives impressed the judges as being both innovative and effective, as they were keen to see how it will evolve into the future. Can you tell us a wee bit more about that, David?
Yes, of course. Firstly, good morning, everyone. And I'd like to extend a massive thank you to both Christine, Bethan and Nestlé for sponsoring the award, and a big thank you to the Irish Centre for Diversity for the opportunity to be part of this webinar and the incredible work you do in promoting digital inclusion. As Christina said, my name is David Ward and I'm the bigger picture / CSR manager for Sky Ireland. To self-describe, I'm a white male with a receding hairline, trying to still hold on to it, in front of a multicolored background. My pronouns are he, him. So at Sky, we're deeply committed to making positive impact in our communities where we live and work, and digital empowerment is at the heart of our mission. And that's where Sky Up would come in. So Sky Up is our flagship social impact initiative designed to bridge the digital divide and empower individuals through technology. We know digital inclusion is key to unlocking opportunities, and that's why Sky Up focuses on three critical areas. One would be providing access to the internet, where we work to support communities that face barriers to digital connectivity. We do this by offering free Wi-Fi to certain partners like charities and NGOs. Our main one to date is probably Limerick Youth Foundation, who support young people. By offering essential resources, we try to ensure that more people can get online, stay connected and access opportunities that might otherwise be out of reach, and giving them an opportunity to stay connected during this ever-progressive digital world. Second part will be trying to support young people. So we collaborate with schools, community organisations to support young people from underrepresented backgrounds. Through digital skills training, mentorship and inspiration, we help try and build confidence and help them aim higher in their futures. Thirdly, creating diverse pathways into media and tech careers. We believe talent is everywhere, but opportunity is probably not. So we're trying to work to change that. Through training programs, mentorship, real-life work experience, we're opening doors for young people to pursue careers within the media and technology. A key part of this is our Keystone, which is Sky Up Academy Studios in Dublin. It's a dedicated space where students can step into the world of digital media. In the academy, young people get hands-on experience in storytelling, video production, and digital content creation, helping them create and develop skills that will be valuable, hopefully, to their future careers. We do that via our staff. So all of our staff that run these sessions with the kids every Friday are all volunteers and give up their time to provide this time and this training to the guys within the Sky News or Sky Sports News studios that we've built in Dublin. Then, like, looking ahead, as you said, Christine, the judges recognise Sky Up as both innovative and impactful. We're very proud of the progress we've made so far. We're still in its infancy in Ireland. It's probably 1 year into what we're doing in Sky Up Sphere. But we know there's still more to do, and we're committed to expanding our reach, strengthening partnerships, and continuing to inspire the next generation. I hope that gives a kind of a detailed response to your answer or to your question. And once again, thanks again for this opportunity to come on and showcase exactly the work that we do in Sky.
Thanks very much, David. Absolutely gorgeous initiatives and fantastic explanation of the initiatives. And I think we can all learn so much from you. So thank you. Pass you across to Bethan now to chat to another finalist.
Thanks, Christina. Thanks, David. I'm loving the term Sky Up Sphere. You're just taking it to the next level. There's another one. So that sounds fantastic. Really enjoyed hearing about that. I'm going to introduce you to our third finalist, who is Colm Canning from Workday. Just some of the comments from the judges to give you a little bit of an idea about the initiative. Workday demonstrated to the judges a real commitment to engaging with communities facing economic challenges, and come through the partnerships that you organised with organisations like Open Doors Initiatives and Job Care. You've made significant strides in addressing barriers to employment and marginalised individuals. It's fantastic. The judges admired your considerable investment in local community initiatives, specifically programmes that support education and employment assistance, entrepreneurship programmes, CV writing and networking. So all really key in getting employment. So if you wouldn't mind, Colm, could you tell us a little bit more about these local initiatives and why they're so important to Workday?
Yeah, good morning, everyone. My name is Colm Canning, and I'm a program manager here for Irish operations in Workday. We're based in the Dublin 7 region in the heart of Smithfield. I'm delighted to be here to just, I suppose, to speak on our Workday Ireland's commitment to social inclusion. I suppose to start, to self-identify, I'm a white male with brown hair, I'm wearing a grey t-shirt, I'm on an orange background, and my pronouns are he, him. I suppose to start off with, just by saying, in Workday, we believe in creating a more equitable society, and we believe we're actively working towards that and as a vision for reality. I suppose I'll start with our beginning our community engagement and empowerment. And we understand that many communities face economic challenges, and we're dedicated to breaking down those barriers. Through our strategic partners, like you mentioned, with Open Doors Initiative and Job Care, we've made significant strides. It's important to note these are specifically funded through our Workday Foundation, which is based in the US, which grant many grants each year. And this partnership and support wouldn't be possible without it. We've looked to provide education and employment assistance, specifically to their member groups, focusing on building their essential skills for CV writing and networking. I suppose last year we had over 500 participants from underrepresented backgrounds from these organisations work with us directly. And while we also give financial support to these orgs, it doesn't stop there, because our employees are deeply engaged too, which is very important. And I suppose in 2023, for when this program award was for, we had over 3,000 hours. And I suppose to put that in perspective, last year we had over 7,000 hours. So we've had a huge increase in the last 12 months in itself. And we do many things from, you know, mentoring to environmental cleanups and to supporting local food banks with our local partners here at the Caption Centre too for the homeless. We have a very passionate team that looks to strengthen our community ties as we are in the heart of the city. I suppose outside of them initiatives, we move towards the need for education and training. And we're trying to break down barriers in a STEM world. We're trying to increase the awareness. And we believe education is a powerful tool for change. I suppose we're the sponsor and supporter of two specific programs through our partnership with Technological University of Dublin. And one of them is a STEM Try 5 Plus program, it's called. And this supports local primary schools in the Dublin 14, 7 and 24 region where TU Dublin have their bases and they're supporting DESH schools specifically, looking to spark their interest in science and technology. And we're breaking down them stereotypes and making STEM more accessible, regardless of socioeconomic background. I suppose another key one that we are working on is EdTips in partnership with Science Foundation Ireland and AWS. And this is bringing digital technology to the classroom, which is actually available to all 3,300 primary schools in Ireland. And we're very, very proud of that as we're trying to build the future innovators in the space around that. We also are very keen on supporting and nurturing the future talent and addressing gender equalities. And our programs are helping young boys and girls from disadvantaged communities envisage themselves as, you know, them future innovators through these programs and through that outreach. And we've seen, as I said, the EdTips program go on to the national curriculum for Ireland, which is a key thing and is vital to encouraging kids to get into coding and build skills for the digital future of the world today. And as I spoke about, just with our partners supported through workforce development, as was also said, you know, we believe that opportunity is everywhere and talent is everywhere, but oftentimes opportunity is not. And that's why we developed support programs around job care and open doors for marginalised groups through offering training, workshops, career support, and equipping the job seekers with tools for the future. And I suppose it's important to note that we've since even built out this partnership to expand further workforce development as a result of successes. And we've seen a number of the people we've worked with get back into employment, whether it be in Workday itself or in other areas of Ireland, which is a very successful tool. And we are very grateful to see that success. And I suppose lastly, the final thing is inclusion and diversity at the heart of all our efforts. We live by our vibe culture, which is value, inclusion, belonging, and equity. And through this, we support initiatives like Trailblazer. It's an initiative through TU Dublin, which looks to celebrate and support diverse cultural identities. And this empowers women specifically, particularly those from underrepresented backgrounds, to overcome challenges in education and in the workforce. So we're working with them throughout time, and that's a hugely successful program. And this is equipping them around mentorship and also equipping them to pursue leadership roles in technology. I suppose I was just saying, to summarize, Workday Ireland's commitment is all about advancing social inclusion. And I suppose we take a multi-faced approach through that. And we're addressing key challenges in education, employment, and gender equality. But we do this by speaking with our community, seeing what is needed, and we're addressing them needs. And we're looking to foster that community, empower them, providing that support for the future endeavours, and as a result, look to build a more inclusive and equitable world and society for Ireland and not just Workday. Thanks very much for your time.
Thank you, Colm. That was brilliant. Wow, it's amazing to hear just how much you're doing. There's so many initiatives there that you spoke about. I wrote down a couple of things which really stood out to me. One phrase you used is talent is everywhere, opportunities are not. Like, yeah, that's incredible. All the work you're doing with young people. And then something which I only saw on the news last night was when you mentioned STEM and gender equality. It was on the RTE 6 o'clock news last night that women in STEM are going to be on a new series of stamps that are coming out with An Post. So it's just very topical. So it's fantastic to hear about all the initiatives you're doing, and thank you for sharing that. It's brilliant.
Thank you.
So I'll pass back over to Christina now.
Thanks very much, Bethan. And, I want to echo your comments as well, Colin. Absolutely blown away by the initiatives and the VIBE acronym. We might be borrowing that. That's absolutely gorgeous, fantastic. And we speak to young people as well. So well done. Thoroughly deserve to be a finalist in this category. So our fourth finalist, I think it is, we are going to chat now to, and beautifully introduced almost by Colin, because you talk so much about education and the importance of it. Our fourth finalist today is Irish Universities Association, represented by Daniel McFarlane. And I'm just going to read out the judges' comments. The route for a lot of young people to emerge from social disadvantages through education. The higher education access route here is an inspiring scheme for Leaving Cert students from disadvantaged and underrepresented backgrounds to avail of equitable pathways to higher education. The scheme is measured against socio-economic and socio-cultural criteria and supports students who, for example, have come through DEIS schools, have parents with low experience with education, and are living in an area of disadvantage. So can even hear a great, perhaps, collaboration between yourselves, Colin and Daniel. But Daniel, the judges loved your passion for the scheme. Can you tell us a bit more about it, please?
Yeah, thank you very much, Christina. It's wonderful to be here with everyone today. And before I jump off, I'll do the self-describing, and I'll try not to be self-deprecating as I do that too. Just in case for everyone, my name is Daniel McFarlane. I am the Access Manager here in the Irish University Association. I'm a white man with brown hair and glasses, and I'm wearing a blue jumper alongside a blue background, which details our participating universities in the Irish University Association. I was really struck by the judges' comments, and I think passion, I have a great passion and tenacity for the work that I do for a multitude of reasons, but the primary one for myself is that I'm from an underrepresented background. So I would have been the first person in my family to go to college. And I think it's a really interesting trajectory in Irish society for a lot of the programs we all run here. A lot of the time, people who are now in charge of these social inclusion initiatives are the ones who benefit from the schemes themselves. So I think when I envisage the HERE scheme amongst the wider offering here on the call today, I don't necessarily see us as an outlier in the sense that we provide educational opportunities at a very specific time in a young person's life so that we can ensure that those students engage with the likes of Workday or A&L Goodbody or Sky or even Fidelity Investments, and likewise Nestlé too. So I think when I look at the wider EDI or a DEI space at the moment, when we can effectively see it's under fire, I think it's very different in Ireland. So if I can take a little bit of a step back for everyone and what we provide with the HERE scheme, effectively the HERE scheme is a route to higher education via the CAO, and that's the Central Application Office. And the reason why it's there is because that's how we can mainstream and scale the opportunities for a student. And it works in two ways. It gives the students reduced points places, and it gives them access to designated places in all publicly funded courses in Ireland. And why that's really, really important is instead of it being a single issue route, it's a passport to any dream course that a student has. So instead of just saying, you might have access to one specific course in one college in Dublin, you could be a kid from Cork who's really passionate about going all the way back up to Donegal, or likewise, you could be a kid in Dublin who wants to go all the way down to Galway to apply to an Irish course. So we're really, really proud of the opportunities the scheme provides for students. And it is, to all intents and purposes, a mainstream offering these days. And we've been running since 2009. We have over 21 higher education institutions, so all publicly funded institutions. And then likewise, we have over 40 practitioners who help on the rollout of the scheme. And what that really accrues in terms of outcomes for students is about 25% now of all CAO applications are from underrepresented backgrounds and backgrounds from the DARE scheme. So that's the disability route to higher education too. I say that because we've had a really, really impactful few years by which we're ensuring that students, irrespective of their backgrounds, so that's if you're the first in your family or if you're low income, if your parents haven't traditionally gone on to higher education, if you live in an area of disadvantage, or if you're even in a school of disadvantage, so a DESH school, that you have the passport to achieve the course of your dreams. So it's a really, really impactful route for students, particularly at a key point in their life, that when we know there's never been a better time for getting involved in EDI routes, but there's also been a lot of social issues at play that's really going to affect students' efficacy and also students' sense of inclusion in that transition period. So we act as that almost like airport to people's opportunities, and they go on to the wonderful communities of our higher education institutions, and they flourish in every which way they can think of. And that's everything from now thinking, if we've been going since 2009, we have senators, we have writers, we have directors, we have doctors, we have people who are working in the likes of A&L Goodbody. We also, I know of students of ours who are working in Workday. So again, it is going back to that piece of, and I agree with my colleagues on the call, skills, you know, it's not up to chance that someone is more skilled than others. It is, you know, it's on us to provide those opportunities. But even though Ireland is so tiny, it still feels like certain opportunities are up to chance. So we're really trying to make sure to be equitable in what we're doing. And to be equitable in the routes that we're trying to provide, we are now updating the HERE scheme for greater levels of inclusivity and intersectionality within Irish society. So from 2026, we're going to have bespoke interventions for students from the Traveller and Roma community, students who have experienced homelessness, students who have been young parents while in higher education, and then also we're advancing our program to have greater alignment with SUSI. So again, that's the body responsible for giving students funding for going to higher education. So when I think of the HERE scheme's position within the wider kind of Advancing Social Inclusion Award fellows on the call today, I definitely see ourselves in that interplay between ensuring that all of the wonderful work that everyone's doing here within secondary schools, that we can ensure that at that critical moment, applicants get to go on to those dream courses in STEM or arts or wherever they want to go. But again, I just want to say thank you very much to everyone on the call and the work that we're doing. And there's great passion in the field. There's really wonderful advancements. But I think at the same time, I really need to say that it's forged within a culture of inclusion and then also solidarity, not only with my colleagues on the call, but my wider higher education colleagues. So thank you again to everyone.
Thanks so much, Daniel. And I can understand why the judges said your passion for the scheme, absolutely amazing, beautifully described. And a couple of times you mentioned the Passport to Dream course. You know, that is actually a gorgeous way to describe and a gorgeous way to take you know, kids on that journey from the, you know, disadvantaged backgrounds that mightn't have before. And thanks for sharing your own story with us as well. It's absolutely amazing. So well done. And I'll pass across now to Bethan for our next finalist.
Thank you. Thanks, Christina, and thank you, Daniel. That was really lovely to hear. And I agree with Christina, your passion is fantastic. And all the terms that you use to describe the solidarity between us and in Ireland is amazing, and it's true. And the fact that, you know, how we all cohesively kind of work together, even on this call of people working from kind of the education scheme then to that higher education and how it all coincides, it's fantastic. So a really nice spirit here, really nice vibe. So I'm really enjoying this so far. So yeah, as we air towards our penultimate finalist is A&L Goodbody, and I'd like to welcome Jack Gibson here from A&L. So some comments from the judges. They were really impressed with A&L Goodbody's long history of developing and implementing social mobility initiatives in the education and employment areas. These initiatives have been completed by your pro bono casework, which in recent years has provided legal support to those experiencing homelessness. So a really interesting area that looking forward to hearing more about. So if you wouldn't mind, Jack, tell us a little bit about the pro bono work, some of the challenges of providing it and the additional supports you give to colleagues who are involved in it.
Of course, yeah. Thanks, Bethan. So as you said, my name is Jack Gibson. My pronouns are he, him. I'm the pro bono lawyer with A&L Goodbody. And to self-describe, I'm a white man. I have kind of short, wavy brown hair, I think. I'm wearing a blue shirt and I have little hoop earrings, which is to say I don't really look like a corporate lawyer. So when we were putting in our application, I suppose we were conscious of the interconnectedness of our pro bono legal work with the firm's education and employment initiatives. So while those initiatives are really about the firm putting social mobility in action, what our pro bono work gets to is securing essential conditions for social mobility. And one of those is stability. And I think of greatest relevance is the case work that our solicitors undertake for individuals and families facing homelessness. Having a place to call home, to be able to rest, to cook, to be with your family or your partner, to do homework, whatever it is, that's a fundamental human need. It's a human right. And I think pretty obviously is a prerequisite really for social mobility. So since 2017, A&L Goodbody has partnered with Focus Ireland and the Mercy Law Resource Centre, who are a housing law centre specialised in that area. And we provide legal support to families and individuals who are facing homelessness across Ireland. So people who might be engaging with Focus Ireland, who come and encounter a barrier in accessing either social housing or emergency accommodation, and where a legal issue is identified with Focus and with the person themselves, they're then referred on to us for legal support. Then one of nearly our 400 solicitors will take that person on as a client. They'll become a client with the firm like anyone else. And I think since starting the project, we've acted for in and around 1,000 people affected by homelessness. So that seems like a big number, but also in the scale of the housing crisis, it's really only a drop in the ocean. Challenges, I suppose the nature of the housing crisis is just changing all the time. And since 2017, the problem's only gotten worse. Housing supply has not kept up with demand. And this means that the feasibility really, or the likelihood of positive outcomes for our clients is, reducing somewhat. There's just simply not the supply of accommodation for people in need. So maybe back in 2018 or 2017, we had a client who might be looking for medical priority to get on the social housing list. We could advocate on their behalf. We could have the decision to refuse them overturned, and they could, be placed in a social home quite quickly. Now we see that even where we are successful, sometimes those homes just aren't available. And that can be really demoralizing for colleagues, that they've put in this, amazing expert work, and they might have gotten the legal outcome what they want, which is the decision overturned, but the situation doesn't change for their client. But what I always remind people is that even where the outcome isn't perfect, the fact that a person was able to talk to a lawyer, understand what the issue was, have their voice heard, have their rights advocated for, that's a great outcome in and of itself, and something that we should really value. You asked about supports that we put in place for our colleagues. And just firstly, our colleagues understand that, management, the pro bono work is really valued by management. It's valued by the firm. Our solicitors are required to meet, hourly targets for their commercial work, but the firm counts every hour that they spend on a pro bono file as one of those hours. And actually, solicitors are required to undertake other training. I mean, solicitors are very cautious by nature, and they're never going to do something if they think they don't have the expertise to do it. So we run regular training sessions with the Mercy Law Resource Centre, who truly are the experts in this area, to equip our people with the knowledge to be able to support these individuals and these families. And then I suppose the last support that we have in place is really to get our people to understand that they need to approach this type of legal work a little differently from their commercial work. And we talk about it, we call it trauma-informed practice. So this is where when meeting your client, when acting for them, you're appreciating what your client has gone through, every single day, to the point that they start to talk to you. And you have to meet them where they are. So that's with empathy, it can be with patience, and also appreciating the interconnectedness that homelessness can have with other social issues. You know, when a person's facing homelessness, there's a massive disruption to work life, to engaging in education. There's a strain on family relationships. So it's about, you know, appreciating where your client is and spending the time to build a relationship with them, build a rapport. Remember that you're not dealing with a multinational, you're dealing with a human. And it's really important to engage with them on a very, very human level. And then the other side of having a sort of trauma-informed practice is, you know, I always remind colleagues that they have to empower their clients with the knowledge to make the right decisions for them. So we explain the law, we explain the legal arguments we're going to make on their behalf, but then we also explain what the position of the local authority who we might be, you know, coming up against might be. We explain to them the risks. So doing all of that allows our clients to make the right decision for them, and then to be able to instruct us to do that work if that's what they want us to do. I can't really speak to what the judges saw in our application. It was lovely to hear, you know, that pro bono did kind of make us stand out a bit. And I think it's probably because not only are we doing work in employment and education, but also we're getting our people and their professional expertise to address social mobility as well. So look, we were just so delighted to be nominated for this award, and I think just really recognizes the very sort of holistic way we understand social mobility and the conditions that are necessary for it.
Thanks, Mil. Jack, that was brilliant. Fantastic to hear that. And I think some of the words that I wrote down there were, it feels very empowering what you're doing. So empowerment is a fantastic thing. It couldn't be more topical. I mean, at the minute, it's on the news every day, homelessness and the housing crisis. And I loved your comment around it being a fundamental right. You know, it absolutely is, and it's crucial. And also your focus when you're working with these people around trauma-informed practice, you know, that you have to deal with this in a different way. And they're the most important person in the room, and how you approach it is going to be different. So thank you so much for sharing. It's a fantastic initiative and great to hear more about it. So thank you, Jack. And I'll pass back over to Christina for our final finalist/winner.
Thank you so much, Bethan and Jack. Absolutely amazing. I just love that wee bit, obviously what Bethan had mentioned, but obviously that wee bit meeting people where they're at, you know, and for them to be seen and heard. So great initiatives, great work, well done. Without further ado, we want to introduce you to our winner and our last finalists, and our winner for today, who are Fidelity Investments, and represented today by Aoife Murphy. So congratulations, Aoife, and congratulations, Fidelity Investments. The judges' comments, just to read them out, and we'll give you the opportunity then to share with us. So the judges commented that there were so many great things about this nomination. They picked out a considerable number of volunteer hours, so 600 employee volunteering 3,662 hours. Wow. Trying to figure that out, how many that is in terms of days. You might tell us, Aoife. They also mentioned the large number of practical education support programs complemented by transformation days. And really love to hear about this transformation days. That sounds like a great initiative. A laptop donation program, and finally the real commitment to clear progression routes from your education programs into job creation supports. Absolutely amazing initiatives. So Aoife, what does winning this award mean to you? And what are the next steps for Fidelity Investments in this area?
So much, Christina. Firstly, massive thank you for the award, firstly, but also being here and like hearing the other finalists is so inspiring. And I don't know how the judges actually picked a winner, because definitely wouldn't be able. So it's even just an even bigger honor to just hear exactly what the other finalists have done. Really incredible work. But I suppose to start off, I'll self-describe. So my name is Aoife Murphy. I'm a white Irish woman, and my pronouns are she, her. I have dark darkish blonde hair. In the summer, very blonde, tied up in a ponytail, and I'm wearing a black jacket. I also have gold hoop earrings on, and a green background with the Fidelity Investments logo. I'm the CSR and events manager for Fidelity Investments. And I will try speak. That's actually a reminder to myself to try speak slow, because I'm a very fast speaker. To answer your first question, Christina, so actually by the end of 2024, we had over 6,000 volunteer hours. That works out to be about 250 days in total. So, which is crazy. So take actually one person, volunteer 12 hours a day, 500 days to do that amount of hours, which is fast. I remember when I worked that out, but yeah, I suppose firstly what it means to us is it just means a huge amount. We received the gold accreditation in 2023 from the Irish Centre for Diversity. So to then win this award this year, it's just incredible. And I suppose it shows and reassures us that we're on the right path when it comes to this. Our main focus areas are advancing social inclusion through education and support, and then also to reduce the lack of STEM education in Ireland. So thank God we're on the right path. We've been running educational programs here in Ireland for over 20 years actually. So, and in the last couple of years we've really started to pick it up and also broaden the range that we run and deepen the impact, which is really great. So I suppose as well the award is as you mentioned, our volunteers, just a testament to them. So not only do we provide financial support to a lot of our charity partners and community partners, but we really provide the employee full engagement. So every time a partnership or a program comes up, our first question is, how can our employees help? How can they get involved? Because there's such a transfer of knowledge there from the employees to the community and the community to employees. They really get out what they put in. And overall, I suppose our culture here at Fidelity is a very inclusive workplace culture. Our HR provide huge amounts of support in different areas. We have a lot of community groups here that are associate led, that cover a range of different topics, groups, underrepresented groups, and our CSR strategy, I suppose, is just an extension of that as well. So yeah, it really does mean a lot. I suppose that covers that question. And then secondly, what our next steps are. I think we want to cover it all, and we want to we have so many plans, and I have so many plans in the future. But I suppose the main things that we want to do is we really just want to continue to promote education and employability with people, no matter their life stage. So in our application, we kind of talked about how we work in a life cycle here, when it comes to our different education programs. So we have primary skills, secondary skills, college, early careers, and then people returning to work as well. So for primary skills, our overall kind of mission as well is inspiring better futures. Sorry, you can probably hear pings at the moment. We're actually in the middle of a school's work visit and kids are coming, so I'm getting pinged as they're arriving at reception. So ignore that if you hear it. But our mission is inspiring better futures. And that is across anybody of any age. So with our primary skills, we run different programs. One of them is working with junior achievement, where we deliver STEM workshops in the classroom. We work with Citywise Education out in Tala. We do after school coding clubs with them. We always say you can't be what you can't see. So through any program that we can, we implement skill to work visits. So that means, as I said, right now we have kids coming into the office. They'll be here for the next couple of hours. Our employees get engaged and they do different workshops with them. They get to meet our employees here. They see, geez, this building's in our local area, I can work here, or I passed this on the way to school and I didn't know what was in here. And just giving them that opportunity to come in, it's not this big scary building that they, it's something that's in their future, and people who look like them, sound like them are here. And just to encourage that and kind of break down that almost fear of working for a fintech company, or I work for a fintech company, I don't do any of that. So it's showing them that there's so much out there for people. Our secondary skills, we run a variety of programs. One of them is Galway based, and we work with the University of Galway there, where it's encouraging females in STEM. So we do different tech talks, skill to work visits again, a lot of our female associates would act as like female role models in the workplace for this program. We work with the Shona Project, which is an incredible social enterprise that recently got charity status, but that works to empower young women. So it teaches them so many things that they wouldn't learn inside their classroom. So our employees would join their monthly jambos, they're called, and they would talk about different topics. So it could be women's health, social advocacy, public speaking. They do such amazing work. In college, we have our intern programs here, where we take on interns that start in January and March every year, and they'll run till August, and they're put across the business, and they are really integrated into the teams. So they have a full responsibility, and then at the end they get to write up on their experience and what they've learned. And a lot of our interns actually come back and join our graduate programs or just get jobs here, which is kind of the main goal as well, is to kind of continue that cycle. Another one which is incredible, one we launched last year, is a Women in STEM scholarship with Dublin City University, so DCU, and this scholarship is to fund 2 female studying STEM subjects, so one who is involved in sports, and then one solely that is studying STEM, and both from underrepresented backgrounds. We also have early careers programs, so we have our LEAP program, which is our graduate program. We also, I mentioned earlier, our return to work program, so that's for people who might have been out of the workplace for a variety of reasons for years, or maybe people who are changing careers or just want to get into more tech STEM. There's a full program that supports them. We also run apprenticeship programs too, so students who finish school and can do their college work alongside working here full time and getting a full-time wage as well, which is hugely important for people to be able to just even access education and like being able to just live. So they're kind of our full life cycles. We also do like a laptop donation program, which works with all life cycles. So last year we donated over 1,000 laptops, which reached over 10,000 people. So it gave access to STEM education to over 10,000 people across Ireland. And so that's in community groups, but also schools, charities, which was class. And also these laptops are basically laptops that associates have been using for 2-3 years, and because of their coders or they need the most up-to-date technology, these laptops then are completely refurbished and then we donate them off, so they're getting a second life, which is also really important just sustainability wise. That's a lot of laptops to be getting rid of every year. So yeah, we want to continue with our education programs, but also continue with our community partnerships, which are, we have just brilliant relationships and community partners that we love working with. We have community gardens that are really close by. There's a Brookfield one here close to us in City West. We do intern projects, so our intern groups every year work with 5 charities and basically work on a piece of work for them and then present it back to them in July. As I said, we have our laptop donation program. We sponsor the Galway Science Festival as well every year in Galway. So we'll be definitely continuing those and really deepening those partnerships as well. So for DCU, we've been partnered with them for years, and we supported their access program. And then last year we launched that scholarship. So it's looking at ways, kind of, doing needs assessment on each of the partnerships and also the community, seeing what's needed and then trying, to constantly improve it. So that's a lot, only a small amount of things to be trying to tackle, over the next couple of years, but really looking forward to it. We also have our UR work experience group coming in next week, our Route to STEM group. So it's all go, but it's brilliant. And as I said, I suppose one thing that we're starting to see now, as I said, the last couple of years, we've picked up the amount of programs that we're doing and kind of the scope that we do. So it's really cool being able to see the cycle coming in terms of, we've had secondary school students who have done our TY work experience or have done, have met people, one of our employees, through a junior achievement program, and then they're able to apply to our intern program, and they come back and they were like, I did a junior achievement program here 3-4 years ago, and now they're coming back in, they're working, or they're going back to college, or they're doing a graduate program. And it's really cool being able to see, being like, you were in here in secondary school and now you're in an intern program, and then they're in the graduate program and kind of continuing that. So that's been really, really cool to see, and I'm really looking forward to the next couple of years seeing how that even more, and seeing people come back and return, which is really nice. So yeah, that's me.
Very much, Aoife. Your passion is just jumping off the screen. Unbelievable. Goosebumps listening to some of the stuff that you do and thinking to myself, like, do you do like your ordinary work as well? Like, do you do your day job on top of all of this?
This is my day job.
Is your
So
fun? Yeah.
I have the best job. Yeah, I love it.
Passionate. It's absolutely gorgeous. And they, you know, being involved with the children project as well. I've seen their initiatives and everything in the last week while. That's absolutely gorgeous. But a couple of things then, just, you know, inspiring better futures that you mentioned. And I love what you said there. You can't be what you can't see. Do you know? And I think that, you know, that sums up all of the social and inclusion and, you know, all of the I suppose the category, the finalists that we chatted to here as well, because a child can't and don't have control over what environment they're born into, do you know? And so it's about actually empowering and helping them to be the best they can be. And just everything you talked about there will absolutely, you know, feeds into that. So I want to say again, congratulations, well done. It's an achievement. And to thank you for explaining all of that to us, and to thank all of our finalists here today for being with us and for really passionately explaining your programs. And we can see why everybody was there in that final category. So thank you very much, everybody. And I'm going to pass you back to Andrew now for a final wrap up.
Thank you, Christina. And thank you, Bethan. And thank you to everyone else on the call. I mean, oh my God, I'm like, my heart is exploded with the amazing work that's being done by you all. And one thing I must say is, okay, I don't know who the judges, well, I know who the judges are, but I don't know which judge looks at each category, but wow, the amazing work that's being done by all of you, not taking away from our winner, of course, at Fidelity. I don't know how they will have judged it. And I'm sure there are a lot of arguments amongst the judging panel to arrive at our winner. So congratulations to the winner, and congratulations to you all for the amazing work that you do. And one, you know, Bethan and Christina did a wonderful job of kind of wrapping up all the finer points and takeaways from all of your contributions. But one thing I will say is, one of our sponsors said this on another call a few years ago. She said amazingly, I'm going to completely nick her quote. She said, "I'm not religious, but this is proof that we're doing God's work here, and you really are just doing amazing work." And kind of the focus on education and focus on children and everything that you do, it's so uplifting and so rewarding to hear. So thank you so much for everything that you do in this space. It's a new category for us. We only introduced it 2 years ago, I think, and I'm so glad we did, because hearing all this work is so uplifting and rewarding. And yeah, I'm going on, but I'm repeating myself. But yeah, absolutely. Thank you so much for all of the work you do. It's incredible. It's tremendous, and it's the impact it's having is incredible. You know, hearing the work that's being done at Workday, and you know, by all of you, just hearing kind of the work that you do with children when they come back at graduate level and say, I was on that scheme, and just that must be so mind-blowing. So thank you very much. Anyway, I'm going on. I should just concentrate on the thank yous. So thank you again to all of you. Thank you to our sponsors, to Christina and Bethan. Thank you to Catherine, our ISL interpreter. And thank you to Kira behind the scenes, who's keeping everything going smoothly. I will just say that the recording will be available shortly on the website, and you can contact us there if you have any questions about diversity and inclusion. And also you can register and view other recordings in the webinar series. So I will once again say thank you so much to all of you. Congratulations to our winner, Fidelity, and thank you to the team at Nestlé. And thank you for joining us. That's it. Thank you.
Thank you, Andrew. Thanks, everyone.
Thanks, everyone.
Lovely to meet you. Bye now.